NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Labeling his campaign, Scranton versus Wall Street on CNN, Joe Biden attacked President Trump's response to COVID yesterday. Mike Bauer reports.
I never, ever thought I would see such a thoroughly, totally irresponsible administration.
And he continued, highlighting that health officials and scientists stating that mask wearing saves lives is not taking away Americans' freedoms. Americans' freedom was taken away by President Trump.
You lost your freedom because he didn't act.
While Biden highlighted Trump's handling of the coronavirus, he also addressed wages and workers, explaining that he would increase wages for healthcare workers. Biden also repeatedly punched up his connection to blue-collar workers in northeastern Pennsylvania who could relate to the feeling of being looked down on as a three-time presidential candidate without an Ivy League degree.
The Trump administration scrapped a plan to send face masks to every U.S. household in April. NBC News reports an internal email shows the White House instead distributed 600 million masks to nonprofit organizations and state and local governments. Public health experts NBC interviewed say sending masks directly to Americans' homes would have been a stronger message encouraging Americans to wear masks. A top White House advisor says the unemployment rate is coming down faster than anybody thought. Mark Mayfield has the details.
Larry Kudlow applauded employment growth after roughly 8 million jobs were added in the last 3 months. He admits there's more work to do amid the pandemic, but calls the economy self-sustaining, with housing, retail, and manufacturing all booming.
Authorities are hunting for at least 2 suspects who shot up the home of 2 New Jersey police officers. Officials say 6 rounds were fired in the couple's Camden, New Jersey house earlier this week while they were at home with their 10-day-old baby. The Camden police chief made the announcement last night, saying he doesn't know what the motive was, but believes it was an intentional hit since many people know where the husband and wife officers live. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you on this Friday morning, September 18th. 2020. It is Coffee Ann on ON, AM, and FM. I'm Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us this morning. Across the table from me, Paul Willett from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Joe.
Nice to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's Friday.
It is. And we're going to be joined by a couple of guests today at 8:15. We'll be joined by Valerie Gonzalez. She is running for Woonsocket City Council. She'll join us from 8:15 to 8:30. We'll see how her campaign is going. And then at 8:30, Guy Trudell from Trudell's Auction Gallery will join us on the Coffee Ann program. So we'll enjoy talking with Guy and how the auctions are going.
He always has good stuff.
And I snuck out there a couple of times to watch him in action. So,
did you?
Yeah, so I have my critique for him.
Yeah. So and was it an outside?
It was outside, yeah. It was a lot of fun. All right, Paul, time for a first message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
All right, thanks, Joe. Well, we have a lot going on. We're getting into the fall season, and we are not letting up on events. Next Tuesday, we have a virtual Eggs and Issues breakfast with the Speaker of the House, Nicholas Mattiello. Again, I've talked about it before. It's strange here at State House. Not much going on with hearings, but the Speaker always has a lot to say, so that will be interesting. That is taking place, like I said, on Tuesday. It's going to be via Zoom. That's at 8 o'clock. We have the following day, we have how to deal with your fear of public speaking. That's something that no matter how many times we hold this seminar, we get a lot of people. So obviously,
there's always new people coming in, right?
Obviously, it's an issue, and we'll continue to hold these types of seminars as long as people want to attend. Mm-hmm. And then coming up on October 1st, we just made the final arrangements on this, and this is something that you like, Joe, and it's Dining on the Diamond.
Oh, nice.
A little late in the season. We're hoping that we get, an Indian summer type week that we can hold that without people putting coats on and getting chilled. But There's Plan B should there be inclement weather. They're going to bring it under the tents. Mm-hmm. Then on October 5th, we have a Women's Business Council network pop-up, they call it, and that's going to be at Lola's Lounge. It's a new restaurant in Smithfield on Route 7. So that again is December. Excuse, I keep saying December. I don't know why.
It's because it's so cold.
You know,
I mean, it's 58.
That's on October. Things are going fast enough. I don't need to accelerate it by a couple of months. And that's going to be on October 5th. And we do have a live event coming up the end of October 21st, and that's going to be Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea is going to be coming out. She's comfortable doing a live event, and Kirk Bray does a great job adhering to the COVID rules. So. And that's going to be just before the election. So, as you know, in the state of Rhode Island, the Secretary of State's office is responsible for voting. So, you can find out about all these by visiting our website at nrichamber.com, or you can call us to register at 334-1000.
All right, Paul. Well, the joke going around on Facebook, talk about passing and moving the year along. People say I'm putting up my Christmas tree this weekend because I want this year to end so badly.
Yeah.
And move on to 2021 and hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, 2020, you talk to a lot of people, and they just as soon wipe it out of their memory.
Mm-hmm. So you're not the only one trying to rush the year along. And speaking of rushing the year along, every year I try to look to see when I see the very first Christmas holiday commercial.
Don't tell me.
I have seen one.
Oh God.
It's kind of subtle, and you got to look. If you got to really be paying attention. But it's for Coffee Mate, the creamer that you put in coffee.
Oh, good.
And there's a little gingerbread man in there because it's gingerbread flavored Coffee Mate.
Yeah.
And they say it's perfect for the holiday season.
It's unbelievable.
Christmas has arrived.
I guess they call it creepy Christmas because it keeps getting earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
As kids growing up, you didn't see anything Christmas related until after Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Then it kind of went before Thanksgiving. Then it went before Halloween, and now you're saying here we are in September.
And someone is starting to run those commercials. So take a look for it next time you're cruising around the television. All right, Paul. Things that are going on in the news. Well, it's not really Woonsocket related, but it's Rhode Island related. Stabbing at the Providence Place Mall.
Yeah,
yesterday afternoon, right middle of the day.
A fatal stabbing.
Fatal stabbing, I should say. In the food court. 4 people are arrested for it, and they say the weapon was recovered as well. And police didn't give out too much information. They didn't release the person's name or the people that were arrested, their names. They also did not. But they did say they all knew each other.
Yeah, so it was probably
Now, family members have come out and said who the victim is. Nazik Hernandez, 19 years old. But the Providence Place Mall is nice, but it's just known as a hangout.
Yeah, well, I mean,
for the younger crowd,
malls attract young people. It's something to do. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's good people and bad people. In this case, I don't know if it was a gang or.
Well, the police haven't said that just yet, but they described it as 2 groups of people that knew each other got into a yelling match back and forth, and then it escalated from there. Pretty badly.
Yeah, well, obviously,
kill somebody.
And it's and something with. Situation like that, you have patrons, and it's horrifying to witness something like that, especially if you have little kids and try to explain to them what's going on.
We're just reading from different people that were there and other news reports from yesterday. They just said it wasn't very crowded because it was school day.
Yeah.
So it wasn't typically crowded at around 11:30 yesterday afternoon. But they did find it very bizarre that after this all took place, people went right back to eating. Well, but it wasn't until like an hour, maybe 2 hours later, then they decided, all right, we're going to close off the 3rd floor of the mall and let nobody up here, and the stores up there had to close and things like that.
So that's interesting. They didn't clear out the food court, or
Not right away. So, but then eventually they did, and then I wonder, and they said stores were closing. And then I wonder about Dave and Buster's. They're right off the food court there, and they're going to rely. They rely on the patrons coming in. So, I wonder if they were allowed to stay open or reopen a little later in the day. I don't know, but it's a sad situation that happened there in Providence yesterday. I'm sure we'll hear the names of the people that were arrested on this, and
unless they're underage. I mean, you said the victim was 19.
Victim was 19. I don't think they said. They just said they were young adults, so anywhere between 18 and 22, around there, and so maybe it's past your high school age kind of thing. So,
well, for me, at my age, a young adult is anybody below the age of 50. But,
I don't make it anymore. Darn. So the other thing going on, Paul, and also not really Woonsocket related, I heard Dave read the story, and I'm thinking, hey, wait a minute. So it's Providence College, and there's been a spike in COVID-19 cases at Providence College, and so they're going to shift to fully remote learning for 1 week. See if we can get these numbers to come down. I'm like, all right, that's a good idea. But then the president of the school, Reverend Kenneth Sickard, this is his first year, isn't it?
It is.
President of the college? Yeah. Okay. All students living on campus will be tested. No, all right, that's fine. But will not be allowed to leave campus. I'm like, wait a minute. What if you have a job? What if you're delivering pizzas for Domino's? You got to go off. You have what? He's going to say you can't go to your job?
I don't know if he has the authority to say that, but is he? I haven't read the story. I did hear about the 80 cases, the 80 positive cases, but is he requiring them to quarantine?
Quarantine on campus basically is what he's saying, and then you're not allowed to leave. Now, if you live off campus and you test positive, you must be relocated. I don't even know what that means. You got to find someplace else to live. Hey, I signed a lease. I got this for 9 months.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean I got to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Where am I going to go?
It's a crazy situation. I mean, if they're renting a house or living, in a private residence, I don't know if he has the authority
to say go find someplace else. That probably everything's taken right now too. So just a couple of the questions I thought of. I said, wait a minute. And what are you going to do? Are you going to kick them? Are you going to then expel them from school if they leave campus? I know you sign a bunch of papers, and they'll keep your money, and you need to abide by their rules. But I don't understand this one. I can't leave campus.
I think people make stuff up as they go too, and then maybe reassess. So.
And say, oh, I shouldn't have said it quite like that.
Yeah, could be.
Let me reel back and say, well, it seems pretty straightforward when you say you're not allowed to leave campus. Now, PC campus is pretty big, and I'm sure a lot of students that live on campus have jobs on campus.
Sure, yeah.
But some will have jobs off campus.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They could be waiting tables downtown.
Well, I think too that 80
cases is a lot.
Pretty good size number, and let's hope that doesn't get repeated on other campuses or even the schools, public schools.
Now, bringing it closer to Woonsocket, one person in Mount St. Charles has tested positive. Now, it doesn't say. It just says it results in about a dozen students being placed in quarantine. The school president, Alan Tenrero, confirmed this to the Valley Breeze. Now, it doesn't say who the person is. It doesn't say student. Doesn't say teacher. Doesn't say custodial person. Just one person. But they must have some interaction because a dozen students are placed in quarantine.
Yeah, well, they'll do the contact tracing type thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll be tested as it goes along. And that other school, another boarding school down in Middletown, St. George's School, they got someone testing positive down there too, resulting in the student and classmates in the student's dormitory being quarantined. So it's everywhere. Did you hear about the student in Attleboro, Mass?
Yes.
Where they sent them to school even though knowing he was positive. Ooh, the mayor was not happy in that, Laura.
No, and that's socially irresponsible. You do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. You're putting people at risk because of your stupidity.
30 kids have to be quarantined.
Yeah.
And those parents must be not happy. Are you kidding?
Well, you take every
crazy.
precaution, and then you get
that
somebody
happens.
who just doesn't get it.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Yeah, no, but that's how things spread.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, let's get a second message, Paul, from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Then we'll take a break, and then we'll have our candidate come join us.
Oh, thank you. So, throughout this whole COVID crisis, the Chamber's been a good source of information. We keep updated on our website the latest information. There are some things that are going to be coming out. The governor announced this week the Take It Outside initiative, where there's going to be, they put out an RFP, request for proposal, that is, to chambers of commerce and municipalities and other organizations. So those grants are going to be up to $150,000, and they're designed to help any business. And you'd think restaurants, but there's other businesses as well who may want to take their business outside. Could be retail, just a dance studio, maybe taking classes outside. So whatever equipment they need, whether it be heaters, because the cooler weather is coming up, heaters, tents, tables, anything that you need to operate outside, even the expansion of Wi-Fi. So if you need to expand your Wi-Fi outside, whatever carrier you have and whatever cost that is, this grant would cover it. So this is evolving as we speak. The implementation for this is going to be September 28th, so the monies will be available starting September 28th, and whatever it is that you're going to be purchasing has to be done between September 28th and December 18th. So, just those types of things, getting the word out about that. But the Chamber of Commerce, during these times, we are very good at getting your message out. So if you want to let people know that you're open, if you're running a special, we can get that message out. Again, the events that I spoke about earlier, it's an opportunity to learn what's going on, whether it be the message from the Speaker of the House or how to speak in public. Those types of things will make you more informed and could make your you and your employees better equipped to handle your customers. So, Chamber of Commerce, we do a number of things. The advocacy is probably the biggest thing that we do. We want to make sure that whatever the lawmakers are going through, that it is business friendly. So, if you're not a member of the Chamber, give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you about your business and how we can help you. And if you are a member of the Chamber, we certainly want to thank you for your support, and we appreciate during these tough times. We know that you don't have to belong to the Chamber, but obviously if you stick with us, you'll see the value that it provides. So,
all right, more Coffee Hands coming up. We ask you to please stay tuned.
Have you heard the news? If you have both Medicaid and Medicare, United Health Dual Complete can help you. And it's no wonder, considering all the extra benefits you could get. Dual Complete includes $3,000 in dental care with $0 copay. You could also get $800 to buy health products, hearing coverage, and credits for hearing devices, vision coverage, and credits for eyewear, no-cost gym membership, and Fitbit, and much, much more. See why Rhode Islanders with Medicaid and Medicare choose United Healthcare Dual Complete. To find a plan for you, visit our website at uhccommunityplan.com and search by your zip code or call 1-844-560-5600. 4944. Plans are insured through United Healthcare Insurance Company or one of its affiliated companies, a Medicare Advantage organization with a Medicare contract and a contract with state Medicaid program. Enrollment in the plan depends on the plan's contract renewal with Medicare. Benefits, features, and or devices vary with plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Since 1948, their motto has been to give every customer the very best in quality service, as well as attention to detail. And that promise continues today at Michaud's Auto Body, a modern 5-stall facility with the latest in technology. Whenever you have time, please check their website at MichaudAutoBody.com and take a short video tour of their modern facility. It's very interesting. Michaud's Auto Body on Privilege Street, Woonsocket, a second-generation family business. 769-1983.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Local and live at 99.5 FM.
It is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Joe Callahan here with Paul Willett, and we're being joined at the Coffee and Table by Valerie Gonzalez, candidate for Woonsocket City Council. And good morning to you, Valerie.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, I'm glad you can make it in. This is always nice meeting the new candidates that are running. But to start off with, please tell us a little bit about your education, and what you do for a living at this point.
Well, I have been I've been so many things. Let me see where I start. I have been a dental assistant.
Okay.
So I'm part of like the working class community for over 28 years, and so I'm very familiar with all the sentiments that a lot of people are feeling about going back to work, to high risk situations. So I can sympathize with that. So I've been a dental assistant. I am a wife of 23 years. I got a son, 21, a daughter, 19. She just recently graduated from Woonsocket High School, and I just want to mention that they did an amazing job for graduation. We always, with my son, I tried really hard to get that one picture of graduation. With my daughter, I have so many of them, I don't know what to do with them. And I'm also a pastor in the city. My husband and I started Calvary Worship Center about 18 years ago, and now it's called Vita Church. We went through rebranding. And what else am I? I've had a mentorship program for young ladies. I ran a women's program for over 20 years. Actually, next year, it'll be our 21st year. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm always busy looking to work with the community. I love people.
Okay.
And, I like to get my... I like to keep busy helping in whatever way I can.
Now, you mentioned off there, this will be your first foray into running for a political office, correct?
It is. I was appointed to school committee under Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt. I served 4 years in school committee.
Okay.
So I do have some experience serving on a board.
Gotcha.
It's just my first time actually running for office, because at that time it was all appointed.
Okay. So what made you decide, okay, now's a good time, or now's the right time that I should jump in and run for city council?
Well, I've been watching how there's a lot of... I'm not one of those people that says everything is going wrong in Woonsocket. I need to run because I am the savior.
Because you're going to change it all?
Yes, I'm going to change everything. No. There's a lot of good things that are happening. As a matter of fact, yesterday we got the report from the Fitch rating of the investments for Woonsocket, and we got an A grade rating. That's an awesome thing to celebrate. But for me, I'm watching how I can be a part of the difference. I've been working, through the church and through other programs in the city, getting involved as much as I can, working on the one-on-one, and I'm ready to just broaden that reach. When you have a seat at council, you can have a greater impact. And some of the things that we've been doing on one-on-one, I think, would be beneficial to the city. And I just want to be part of that change. That's why the model that I'm running under is Be the Difference.
Okay. Paul, do you have I don't want to monopolize over here.
It's quite a field. There are a lot of candidates.
Oh, yes.
14.
And I'm just curious, have you found it difficult to, will this be in your first time? You have nothing to compare it to, but during this COVID crisis, How have you been getting your message out?
Well, it's challenging because it's my first time, I am very blessed in relationships. If there's one thing that I feel wealthy with, is relationships. So I have great people in my life that have done this before. And while I can't measure to my own campaign, I can measure to some of the things that they've done in the past. And then we've been working on just editing some things. Now, one of the door-to-door is still one of the things that we do, but you have to rely more on social media and getting things out there because not everybody wants somebody knocking at their home. So we're trying to be as respectful as we can in that sense, but still getting out there. Some of the old ways, the lawn signs, radio interviews, like these kind of things is really what's going to get my voice out there. So I truly appreciate this opportunity because with these challenges, this is actually instrumental what we're doing here right now.
All right. In terms of your platform, I know you didn't want to, we're not going to do a wholesale change, but there must be some items that you would like to see take place in Woonsocket that you could work on. What are some of those items?
Well, one of the things that is true and dear to my heart is the opioid crisis. It's one of the things that we have to address more with a little more force. I've had a couple of experiences. I remember we used to have where the Rob Roy is. Yes. That actually was our first storefront church. And right behind Chan's, we had a van that we would park. And during one of those winter nights, a couple of people broke in, went in there, and they actually found someone dead in the van. And that was like... and I guess they were doing drugs, whatever, and because of the cold and everything. And that just sort of was the first time that it really hit me that how serious the issue can be. Then I had someone else that started coming to the church. It was just like a great guy. When you met him, you knew that he was a great person that just fell into a habit that just consumed his life. And he was asking for help. Now, at that time, my husband and myself spent a whole day just making phone calls, trying to get a program to get him into. And we didn't have the funds. We just had a small storefront that we just started. We didn't have the funds to pay. And everybody wanted, so much money and whatever. We couldn't get him in. And we didn't hear from him for a couple of weeks. And they found him in an apartment dead. So when I heard about his death, I cried so much. I'm not a crier. My husband cries more than I do. But yeah, he's right. Yes. But
he disagrees, by the way.
I feel things. Just because the tears don't come out, I don't. It's not that I don't feel things. But that has stayed with me. It's been quite a few years since, but it has stayed with me, and I feel like we can. Now I see how this issue is increasing, and even now with COVID, we see the reports that people are locked up, in their homes, and they're getting more into. So we have more cases, and I would love to do something about that. So
you would like to see more programs to help people that are on opioids? I
would love to see a detox center.
Okay.
I think a lot of the things that we. I've never run a detox program, and it's not, but I'm one of these people that when I don't know something, I look to other states, to other cities, to other people, see what is working. And I think that we have a lot of things that we're referring out, from the city, and we can have those resources right here for our people in our community to be able to easily access.
Okay. Is there anything else on your platform that you're looking to that you would like to see done in the city of Woonsocket?
Well, one of the things that I want to be a part of. It's not that it's not being worked on, but I would love to be a part of that change. Is bringing the small businesses in. We have everybody. If you live in Rhode Island, you're paying too much taxes, right? It's not. But I really believe that if we increase the tax base and the small businesses, even during this whole COVID crisis, where a lot of them have found themselves, on shaky ground, I'm really glad for all the work that that is being done at state level and city level to help all these businesses out. But we have to find better ways of attracting more small businesses that is going to develop a better workforce right here in Woonsocket. A lot of people that I come in contact with, they want to work. Traveling is a challenge. They don't have cars or transportation or whatever. It would be nice to have taxpayers and citizens that can look to their own city to find some place of employment and have these businesses just raise our tax base.
Okay. Anything, Paul?
What's your take on Main Street? I mean, we have a lot of vacant space. If an outsider were to drive down Main Street, what do you think the perception is?
It's probably the same perception that we all have, even as citizens. We might become immune a little bit to it, but we need more businesses. Main Street is a beautiful street. It just needs a little bit more life. It needs these businesses to come in, and that's part of. I've been in some of those buildings, and they're just. They need some work.
Oh, absolutely.
They need some work, but I'm a visionary. Like, I'm one of these people that I'm not afraid of challenges, and I can see something that doesn't look too pretty, but see the beauty behind it. And when I drive through Main Street, I have, a vision of just those buildings. We need to find ways of just filling them. Because it's true, it's kind of like a little ghost town in some areas.
Okay. When you talk with the residents of the city of Woonsocket, are they saying anything to you? What are their most important things that they would like to see you work on if you become elected?
We actually had a very good conversation with one of the business owners, because we've been meeting with citizens and we've been meeting with business owners, and one of the business owners was saying how here in Woonsocket they're having trouble retaining workforce from the people of Woonsocket. They'll have to hire out from like Providence or from other places, and they were wondering what we can do about just stimulating more the workforce here in Woonsocket. And that seems to be a common thread, with the businesses. But the people want family values. Mm-hmm. The people are still, we can get into all these different issues and, things get, complicated, with all the crises that are happening between the COVID and terrorism and injustices. Like, all these things are important to the average citizen, but bottom line, they all want family values. They want safety. They want to feel safe. That's why I'm a big supporter of the police and public works and the fire department. I think our first responders have shown themselves here in Woonsocket to be good, decent workforce. And I just I know that there's a lot of things happening on a national level, but I wouldn't judge our police department by some of the mistakes that have happened on national level. I think we have a really good police department and fire department and public works, and I'm a big time supporter of that.
All right. Well, the 15 minutes goes by pretty quickly, Valerie.
It really does.
But we want to give you, in your own words, a few seconds here at the end. Just remind people why they should vote for you on November 3rd.
Well, on November 3rd, I'm hoping that you show up to the polls. First of all, register to vote. That's one of our big platforms. We are running into so many people that live in this city that want changes but have not registered to vote. Mm-hmm. If you don't register to vote by October 4th, your vote will not count. And your vote is the most important voice that there is at the polls. So I'm hoping that we can inspire somebody to go online. It only takes about a minute to do so, because you can't vote for me if you don't register to vote. But just know that if I am elected, I am a person who works with whomever. If there's something in this time where there's so much division, I am proud to say that, I am one of these people that works to find common ground, and I'm willing to work with whoever's elected. I know there's 14 people. Whoever would be on the board with me, we're going to bring some progress to Woonsocket.
All right, Valerie Gonzalez, best of luck in your campaign.
Thank you very much.
Woonsocket City Councilperson, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, more Coffee Hands coming up. Please stay tuned.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Rhode Island Army National Guard. Aired by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association and this station.
K-Fin Oil is always ready to serve you regardless of the size or scope of your project or needs. Whether it's heating or air conditioning, their personal service begins with your initial phone call and continues right to your home by their cordial and experienced technicians. They make your experience a pleasure, not a nightmare, by giving you correct information and explanations. Make your choice, K-Fin Oil, servicing oil and gas systems as well as hot water tanks. K-Fin Oil, 765-3881.
Are you tired of the same old dishing and depressing chatter in the morning radio? Then don't get down. Get up with me, Dave Richards, from 5 to 8 a.m. each weekday. On the Road with Joe, fun, the trivia quiz, and interesting stories, and your favorite tunes by your request. Don't get down. Get up with Dave. Weekday mornings only on ON, AM, and FM.
This portion of the Coffee and program is being sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
When you want to know what's coming up in your town, there's news, as it's reported, and there are public notices. Public notices, also called legal ads, are placed by cities and towns in newspapers to alert you of important meetings that'll be coming up soon. At the Valley Breeze newspapers, you'll find public notices right up front, generally on page 4. They aren't tiny, hard-to-read ads in the back of the paper. In the Breeze, ads are easy to find and read. We want you to know. In addition, all public notices are placed online at valleybreeze.com, where they remain posted until the public meeting is passed. It's just the right thing to do. If you live in Cumberland, Lincoln, North Smithfield, or another local town, you'll find public notices in the Breeze every week and online at valleybreeze.com. Go to the homepage and click Public Notices. You'll find them all. Breeze public notices that will keep you informed, ahead of the crowd, in the paper and online. Thanks for noticing.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. That's a good question. We'll ask Guy that, and he can answer it on the air. This is Joe Callahan here with Paul Ouellette. We're being joined by Guy Trudell from Trudell's Auction Gallery. Thanks for coming in, Guy.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So ask the question, Paul, that you're just going to ask Guy.
Which one? About where's your show and tell?
No, not that one. The other one.
No, and Guy, thank you for being a member of the chamber, by the way. I was just curious to know if during this crisis, I know at the beginning there was a run on dumpsters. People were calling for dumpsters. They're working from home. They're looking at all the clutter in their attics and cellars and whatnot. So I was just curious if you've seen an uptick in calls of people wanting to, clean stuff out.
There have been a lot of calls. I mean, business has been very strong, as far as, usually we ask people to send emails of some of the items you're looking, but we've gotten some tremendous collections over the last several months.
Cool.
All right, so like I told Paul off the air, I said I've been down to Guy's place to watch him in action. And first of all, great crowds have been showing up. So
Absolutely.
That's super. Now, I've been there, and you're doing your thing right out in front, but over to the side, there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Correct.
And that's not part of the auction. But what is that going on the side of your building?
So that is part of the auction. What it is that's what we call the discovery portion of the sale. So while I'm doing out front, we're handling the higher end antiques and collectibles. On the side is box lots, table lot type of items that don't make the antique portion of the sale. When Governor Baker for Massachusetts rolled back from a crowd of 100, he rolled back to crowds of 50 gathering outside. Mm-hmm. So what we had to do, my dad, who's the second auctioneer for the gallery, has been for quite some time, but what we did to still maintain a true crowd, my dad will do the box lots on the side of the gallery while I'm doing the antique auction. So essentially,
There's
two
two
different
going on.
auctions going on.
I see.
50 people can attend out front, 50
Okay.
people can come for the box lots.
I get it.
That's always a go around.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's getting cooler. Are you still going to be outside this Monday?
We are outside.
Okay,
We are still outside this Monday.
Do you have a date, a plan of when you're going to move it inside?
That's going to be a tough thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're running different options. If we go to inside, obviously we're limited to 25
you gotta cut it
people.
down,
You know,
yeah.
you're going to have to cut it down. So that might be, instead of being a 3 or 4 hour auction, it might be a whole day occurrence where, okay, at 10 o'clock we're doing furniture.
Okay.
At noontime we're doing glassware.
So you can move people in and out.
That's right. So, I mean, if you're not into furniture, you're not attending at 10 o'clock, so on
Right.
and so forth. The other option is going to online sales as well,
Mm-hmm.
where you open up for the week. People come in and preview, leave left bids, and then you open the auctions up online with the items you have.
Okay.
So what happens if you get? I mean, are you selling tickets? Do people have to reserve to go?
No,
Or
no.
You just turn people away if you've reached your maximum.
Correct.
allotment?
Correct.
It's tough to tell. You know, it's supposed to be a limit of 50 gathering when you're outside. Okay, yeah, there's a core group of people in front, but then there's people like myself who are just wandering around in the back where the cars are.
Correct.
So how do you really can't keep track of if there's 50 or not there?
Yeah, you do, because, I mean, when I'm auctioning, it's tough for me to do from my standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife, who registers everybody and sits at the table in the corner, registers, gives out bidder numbers, she's constantly keeping count to make sure
Is she?
that we're in
Compliance?
We're in compliance. You got
All
it.
right.
Yep.
So it's a lot of fun to watch
I
Guy
have to,
in action.
I have to come out now. You're the traditional hawker, where you did you go to auctioneer school to learn how?
I
to,
did. I
how
did.
to do the calling. Or,
You got
is that what they
you,
call
you
it?
don't
calling?
you don't learn. When I went to auctioneer school, I went to Yankee School of Auctioneers in New Hampshire. Jay Daly taught the class, but it was funny. I thought you would learn your bid calls and everything like that. That was not the case. They kind of taught you the aspects of the industry. And he told you right out, he said, when you guys leave here, you're going to go home, you're going to stand in a mirror, and you're going to practice bid calling.
Yeah.
You're going to attend other auctions, you're going to hear something you like from another auctioneer, and you're going to incorporate that into your business. And into your bid calling and cadence. So, they don't teach you that. It's something you just kind of learn as time goes.
So is more the emphasis on be aware of who's bidding and how the crowd is
Correct.
turning,
Regulations, how to maintain a crowd, items like that. Because I mean, things happen in the course of auctions that, you wouldn't plan on. I mean, for instance, we were bid calling one day. This has happened several times, and somebody had a medical emergency. Well, you don't. From your standpoint, you're seeing it happen. The crowd's looking at you. You're the only one looking back at everybody. You see it happen. You kind of nonchalantly look over at one of your runners, whisper, hey, call 911. You try to keep the crowd calm, and some people that are sitting right next to the person having the will understand, but the crowd, my runners have been really good, they'll get somebody, we know there's somebody that's a doctor or a nurse. Hey, they get over there, they get them getting medical attention, waiting for rescue to arrive or something like that. Once rescue arrives, you say, okay, we're taking a 15-minute recess, but you keep the crowd calm, So it's stuff like that, it happens.
I'm sure it does. So what's good about the auctions is they're not long and drawn out. And you bring up one piece, and you're looking for your first bid, and you get it, and then sometimes it goes back and forth between two people, but within 45 seconds or so, it's sold, and you're moving on to something else.
Absolutely,
Which is great.
We move at a fast pace.
Yeah.
And something new that we've started to do, which again was my wife Yvonne's idea, was we're running a live feed now when the auctions start on Facebook Live. We go live, so even if you can't attend the sales, you can log in and watch the items we're selling, kind of watch what items are bringing, and it's fun.
Who's doing that? Is someone holding up an iPad or something?
We have our iPad Pro that we bought strictly for this, and we mount it, and and you can tune right in and watch the sales.
But you can't bid, you can only watch? Or?
Well, sometimes you can. Like, we'll have people that will go to our website, view the items, and they'll come in on a live comment on the live feed and say, hey, has this piece gone up yet? And if it hasn't gone up yet, they'll say, well, leave $85. And then, again, my wife, from the stand-back point of registration, will execute the bid for them, yep.
Okay. Interesting. Now, when I was there one time, one of the things that went up for bid was a doctor's scale. The ones you stand on at the doctors and they measure your height, and you were funny to me because you wanted anyone bid like 35 and nothing. 20, nothing. How about 5? Nothing. Okay, forget it.
Right. Yep.
Okay, we'll leave it for
Who
next
wants
week.
to know how much they weigh?
I thought the fun part about that was the height,
Yeah, but then it was just, okay, no one wants it this week, so we'll put it away, we'll bring something else up. Did it eventually go?
It did. It eventually it brought $30 the following week. Yep.
No kidding.
Yep. Sometimes you just don't have the person there for the item.
Okay.
You just have to weigh it out.
Yep.
That's a good one, Paul. Are you liking the size of the crowds that are showing up?
It's been great. I mean, after going through, being shut down for like 2 months, I mean, we really got right back in order very fast, and we've been fortunate. Like you said, we talked about the biggest thing that's going to hamper us is getting into the colder weather.
Yeah.
But one thing that a lot of the clientele that have come to us, we've always, even through the winter months, that discovery portion that we do on the side of the gallery, that's always been something that we've done year round.
Yeah.
So I mean, people, they come with their warm gear. Normally, it's not being out there for that long, but that carries right through December. Right up until we get to spring, so they're used to it.
I don't know if it's possible, but could you find a large enough tent to put up and try to get you and your stuff and people all under the tent with heaters?
You could do it, but I mean, you're still gonna run into problems because you're gonna need sides on the tent, which is gonna limit. I mean, now even though you're outside, you're back inside per se. So, one way or another, we'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. I mean, but it'll be a puzzle, but it's been that way for 6 months now, and we've adjusted, so we'll continue to do so.
And the people don't mind bringing their lawn chairs. I've seen people with the lawn chairs sitting out front.
They love it.
Yeah,
absolutely. They absolutely love it.
It's good.
But, usually, and I have been, and I have to. What are the hours?
We run Monday mornings. Auction starts at 10 o'clock. We open for preview at 8. Auction begins at 10. Usually we're done by 1:30.
Yeah. So for the working, it's a little tough to.
Yeah, but we are also open on every Saturday and Sunday for preview. People that can't attend the sales, they come in, they leave phone bids, absentee bids, and we execute for them.
In addition to, in situations like that, in addition to chairs, I always have to bring a roll of duct tape to tape my wife's hand
down.
Keep it down.
It's like,
No, we don't want that. No.
Oh, my God. And, it's like sometimes she just can't control herself. I'm sure a lot of people get caught up in the moment.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of times.
I guess.
There's a lot of times we'll say, $200 wear on an item, and then I'll know it's going to take off. So we'll go, all right, $20 wear, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's back at $350 because people get caught up in the bid. Sure.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program. I got to give you the weather forecast being brought to you by Macy's. Today, it will become sunny this afternoon with a high temperature near 62. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 39. Saturday, sunny, high near 59. Saturday night, mostly clear, low 37. Pretty cold on Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, high near 59. The outlook for Monday, a sunny day, high near 62. So not bad. Out there at the auction.
Yeah.
Comfortable, that's right. Currently outside at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, we have 60 degrees. Join Macy's in support of Girls Incorporated throughout September and make a donation today at Macy's.com, and also give back when you shop at any Macy's store. Donate and learn more at Macy's.com/Macy's Gives. This section of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
When you want to know what's coming up in your town, there's news, as it's reported, and there are public notices. Public notices, also called legal ads, are placed by cities and towns in newspapers to alert you of important meetings that'll be coming up soon. At the Valley Breeze newspapers, you'll find public notices right up front, generally on page 4. They aren't tiny, hard-to-read ads in the back of the paper. In the Breeze, ads are easy to find and read. We want you to know. In addition, all public notices are placed online at valleybreeze.com, where they remain posted until the public meeting is passed. It's just the right thing to do. If you live in Cumberland, Lincoln, North Smithfield, or another local town, you'll find public notices in the Breeze every week and online at valleybreeze.com. Go to the homepage and click Public Notices. You'll find them all. Breeze public notices that will keep you informed, ahead of the crowd, in the paper, and online. Thanks for noticing. Seafood. There are so many ways to prepare it. Barbecue or grilled. How about seafood with pasta or seafood stew? Seafood from Wilfred Seafood. You can taste the freshness. Try shrimp with sugar snap peas, lemony steamed haddock or cod, halibut tacos, grilled tuna teriyaki, baked salmon in a maple syrup and soy sauce marinade. Enjoy the variety and be creative. Wilfred Seafood on Cumberland Hill Road, Woonsocket. Open daily at 7 a.m.
Daily special, weekly specials at Wilfred Seafood, good until September 22nd. Oven-ready casserole, fresh fish, scallops, and shrimp with Will's Own crumb topping, $5.99 a pound. Peeled shrimp, $7.99 a pound. North Pacific cod, $5.99 a pound. And sea scallops, $13.99 a pound at Wilfred Seafood, Cumberland Hill Road, Woonsocket.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. Kara, what's the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is providing security to families and help protect what's important to them. My specialty is picking apart policy details so customers understand their coverages and options. It can be very overwhelming, and I am here to help with that.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
Okay, Coffee Inn on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with Paul Willett, and we're being joined by Guy Trudell from Trudell's Auction Gallery. Auctions are every Monday, right?
Every Monday,
At
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
We have a couple specialty sales coming up. Mm-hmm. I have a fine art auction this Saturday, which is only 10 pieces of artwork that we got out of an estate in Boston. But next Saturday, the 26th of September, I have the third installment of our Disney collection that was coming out of a Franklin estate. So that's pretty interesting. We already have calls out of New York of people coming down to attend, so it's going to be a pretty good sale.
Yeah.
What are some of the items? Figurines?
There's figurines. There's pins that people do pin trading at Disney. Yeah. I mean, there's some rare stuff in that sale. Approximately 200 lots, but it's going to be a fun auction.
Wow, isn't it cool that Guy goes basically all over New England. Cleaning out estates.
Yeah. You got it.
And so you're going up to Boston and you find all this precious artwork. Well, maybe not precious, but you find artwork that is going to sell.
Yeah.
I've always find that amazing.
And this is funny. This isn't staged.
All right.
I just got a text from my wife that said, "Let's get a dumpster for our vacation. This week we'll have all week to get rid of stuff." I mean,
but don't forget, have me there first to get the value out of there for you.
We have. I've got a big barn with a full loft up there. There's toys up there. My stepson's 41 years old. There's toys up there like He-Man and all that.
A lot of money there.
I mean, it's
toys from the 80s and 90s are bringing incredible money. It's some of the hottest stuff in the collector's market right now.
And even remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Topo Gigio.
Yeah,
I know who it is.
The puppet.
The puppet. Yeah,
we have one of those up there.
Absolutely,
it's not boxed or anything,
right?
But it's so toys. I guess I'll put aside and let you.
So, like you said, Guy, with toys from the 80s. So, video games from that era.
Absolutely,
Atari
absolutely. Atari stuff. I mean, even.
But why is it worth so much money now?
A lot of people, they want their childhood back. So they had the system when they were 8, 10 years old. They got rid of it. As it happens. Most of those systems are indestructible. Yeah. I mean, they'll run forever.
Remember Pong?
Yes, Pong going back and forth.
Oh yeah. And a lot of people, they want their childhood back. They go, or they have children, and they say, "Hey, let me show you the first game system that came out. Let me show you what I played when I was your age."
This is a real toy.
Yeah.
As opposed
I'll
to
tell you what, an 8-track installed in my car.
I still have every system when I was a kid, and once in a while, my two young boys, Ethan and me, they'll whip out an old Nintendo 64 or a Sega Genesis, and they'll get away from the new modern system.
So if someone calls you, Guy, and someone that has not passed away, like Paul here, who's just got a lot of stuff,
sure,
and you go down and take a look at it, are you basically buying the stuff from Paul, and then you're going to sell it for whatever you can get, or would Paul get a percentage of whatever you're selling it for?
Well, we give people options. Some people don't like to take the auction route, and they'd rather have the money in hand. So we could purchase,
a flat rate.
But I always tell people, a lot of times you want to push towards auction on the consignment side of things, because what happens with that, you know, I'm going to try my hardest. You've commissioned me to sell your items. The more I get you for your item, the more I make. So now I'm entitled to try my hardest to get you top dollar for your items. You know, so it works that way. But sometimes, I mean, people, they just don't want to take the auction route. You know, they're scared to do so. And then at that point, we come up with a purchase agreement on the items, if we can do so, and go from there.
Just give me $200 and take everything out of here and get whatever you can get for it. It's all up to you. All right. Not a bad... I like the auction route, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a little more of a gambler.
I try to tell people that's the option, but again, like you say, sometimes it's a gamble.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes items don't bring quite what you want for them. But I always tell people, look at the bottom line. You know, you thought this would bring 50, it brought 20. But you also thought this other item would bring 20, and it brought 250.
Yeah,
so it's your bottom line that counts.
Have you ever come across something that, took your breath away to say, oh, my God, I can't believe this item is here? And
Yeah, there's definitely been a few occasions. The best item I sold was a Gustav Stickley desk by Harvey Ellis, and you know, we determined that the opening bid on the item would be $50,000 to get it going, and I didn't think it was going to sell. You know, the estate had set the reserve, but it ended up selling for $214,000.
Wow.
So I mean, and this was the 15th piece in the auction, so now I still have to sit up here for 2.5 hours. My heart is beating out of my chest. I'm thinking, did I just sell this desk for $250,000? I mean, but that's the highest item I ever sold.
Nice.
That took my breath away.
Is this desk, was it specially commissioned by this?
It was
person that built it?
Harvey Ellis worked for Gustav Stickley, and he worked for a limited time of 8 months. So he had only built 6 of these desks in the world.
Oh,
and they
okay.
were 4 of them were in private collections. 2 had never come up, and 1 popped out of a house in Brookline, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And the lady that owned it.
Stickley's pretty popular for
certain.
sale.
It used to be a lot hotter, but still to this day, if you get the right item, it can be huge money.
What happens when you go to an estate and in your mind you're like, there's nothing here?
Yeah, I mean,
that must happen too.
It does.
Yeah.
But again, nowadays with technology, that's why normally when somebody calls, I just say, look, it doesn't have to be by the piece, but if you could, step back in the room and take a group photo of kind of the items you're looking to, and we try to assess it from there.
Okay.
That's the first step. Then if we see items we like and that we think we can auction, then we would make arrangements to go and do the pickup.
All right. So, coming up this Monday, anything that you see on the horizon that people can come down and take a look at this weekend, and what's going up for auction?
There is a ton of stuff this week. I mean, I have a great clock collection, mantle clocks. Some of them huge slate 3-foot clocks that came out of a house in Norwood.
A lot of people collect the clocks.
Yeah, and these are nice ones. Porcelain, very fancy, French style. But also, as you remember, several months back, I brought in the broadside of Lincoln's assassination.
That's right.
That goes up this Monday.
Does it?
And I don't know.
Oh, you still have it?
I do have it. Yeah, I was holding off on it, just waiting for the right moment. But that goes up this Monday. So and it's a nice piece tied to one socket. So
just explain what the broadside is was.
So what happened was Lincoln, when he was assassinated, was declared dead at 7:22 a.m. in the morning. A telegram went out and was received by the Woonsocket Patriot prior to 9 o'clock, and they printed a broadside, which probably, broadsides were made to stick on City Hall, something like that. And this was typed out after the telegram was received at 9 o'clock in the morning. So within an hour and, 40 minutes of him passing away, this broadside, and it was never applied to a building or anything, which makes it rare.
Wow. So a real big history buff or Lincoln fan would go for something like that. What do you think this one might go for? I know you don't like to guess too much.
No,
but,
I mean, our estimate on it is like $2,000 to $4,000.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yep.
That's the. Have you contacted the Lincoln Library, like in Illinois?
No, we feature the items on Auction Zip. So these people will find the items.
They'll know about it.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else of note that they've been going up?
There's a good collection of currency. Some U.S. silver coins, some foreign money. There's just Royal Dalton porcelain collection. There's a lot of estate jewelry, costume jewelry this week. Nice pins and brooches that came out of one estate. Again, as any week, we're gonna punch out like 400 lots. So
all right,
it's always full.
You mentioned about that desk and the times that I've been there just to watch what you're doing. There does seem to be a lot of furniture, not chairs and tables kind of thing, but more like desks and armoires and things like that.
Yeah,
you get a lot of those?
We do. We do. I mean, furniture in general is soft right now. But if it's inlaid pieces or decorative pieces, certain pieces will bring great money. Other stuff people get a bargain on.
Okay. When you're out there auctioning, ever a case where you might be looking off to your right and someone to your left is actually trying to bid on something? Are there other eyes watching for you?
There are.
Okay.
There are. And sometimes, a big thank you to the crowd, because sometimes they'll point out, guy to the left, I'm looking right and somebody's pointing to the left. Yeah. But for the most part, before you drop the hammer, you try to give that one sweep across the crowd, right to left, left to right. Yeah. Make sure that that's why it's very important when we do opening announcements. I tell people, use your bidder card. That's the easiest way. That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
Once I have you as a potential bidder, if you want to do the nod or the wink, now we got you in. But always use that. Always use that bidder card.
If you're standing in the back, how are you going to see someone nod?
It's tough being outside because people are spaced out. Yeah. But inside, we see it.
You do?
We see. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You could be sitting there and go, "Hey, Joe." Yeah, and next thing you know, you just
bid on something.
People do wave, bye to people, and I always joke around. I go, "Hey, you're in at one of the corners."
Like, no. So. Well, I made a point to keeping my hands down. I said I don't want to make a move.
Thus
here.
the need for the duct tape.
That's right. I had another question. When people, the winning bid, when they win it, your runner brings it right out to them.
Yep.
Almost immediately.
Absolutely.
Is that when they've signed up with your wife? Do you have to give like a credit card or
you don't give
check of some
you don't
sort?
give a credit card. You give us your ID. So we have all your information and a phone number.
Okay.
And go from there. So we have people's information.
So you'll contact them at a later date to collect? Or?
No. They pay. But I mean, I'm just saying you don't really have to worry about somebody walking away with the items.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, it's Trudell's Auction Gallery. How long have you been in business?
Going on 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time and many, many, many more years to come.
I certainly hope so. Trudell's Auction Gallery is in the Bellingham Marketplace.
You got it.
Right behind the Dunkin' Donuts. Can't miss it.
799 South Main Street.
And the auction is every Monday at 10 in the morning, and previews over the weekends. Do the previews even start earlier than that? Like today's Friday. Could you go in today and take a look around and see what's going to go across on Monday?
But there's still items we're setting up. So I'd say if you came in today, you could certainly come in and preview, but you're probably looking at 85%.
Okay.
Between the rest of today and tomorrow, we'll finish it off and get that final polish on it. So
okay, and you could put a bid in over the weekend.
Absentee bids, phone bids, absolutely.
Because I can't make it on that day, and it's funny because I mentioned to my wife, I said, "Do you want to go down and take a look at some of the stuff?" And she said, "Ooh, that's a bad idea."
Dangerous.
To me, that's a dangerous idea. I go, "Well, there might be stuff you don't like." She goes, "No, I'd probably find something I would like."
Yeah.
But that happens. Well. Good luck and have a good auction on this coming Monday.
Thank you very much.
If I'm free, I'll stop by and watch Guy in action.
You got it.
So it's always a lot of fun. I don't know if have you seen me walking around there?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I have.
All right.
I spot you.
All right. Very good. Eagle eyes here on.
But does he spend any money?
Well, not yet. I haven't. All right.
Just got to find that treasure.
All right. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to Valerie Gonzalez, who was running for Woonsocket City Council. She was in